What's going on, guys? It's Cody again with Gold Standard EMS, and I'm here to walk you through the members area of the Creating the Superprovider program. When you're on the home page of the site, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to click the menu button in the top left corner, and you're going to click Student Portal. You'll then be prompted to log in, and you can use your credentials that you used to sign up when you signed up for the program. You'll then arrive at the Student Portal. If you've seen any of our other videos, the student portal might not look the same as the other ones, but just know that this student portal is the updated version. When you scroll down, you're going to click Member Areas and then Provider Courses. This is the member area spot for all the healthcare provider programs that we have. We're going to scroll down and we're going to click Creating the Superprovider. So this is the home page of the Creating the Superprovider program. Now, this is a program that I kind of came up with myself. It's designed to touch on multiple different aspects of your life, not just medicine, not just yourself personally and professionally. It's really designed to touch on a little bit of everything. I realized not too long ago that a big problem with the internet nowadays is everybody has something to sell. And even though information is pretty much readily available wherever you go on about any topic, people were charging huge markups for these individual courses. I know not every EMT or paramedic has $1, $2, $5, even $10,000 to spend on an online course, especially if it's not one that's required. One of the first marketing courses that I ever took cost me $12,000, and even though I got immense benefit out of it, there's a good chance that EMTs, paramedics, won't ever be able to purchase a course like that, simply because they only make $35,000, $45,000 a year, and they have family to feed and bills to pay and life stuff. So to begin with, I wanted to create a program that went beyond the textbooks. It went beyond the scope of practice, beyond what you already know as an EMT and paramedic, and really bring things up to speed. A lot of people know that your textbooks that are currently being taught in school are already out of date, and once you get out of school, come even more further out of date. And so I wanted to fix that problem while also addressing financial, professional, and personal development topics, because there's a whole other aspect that makes up a healthcare provider. EMTs and paramedics have been looked at as boots on the ground for so long, it's almost like they've been forgotten as people that are in those boots. And so I wanted to not only improve the healthcare provider, but I wanted to improve the person who is working as a healthcare provider. And I wanted to make it affordable. So in order to do this, I split this program into two sections: a Mastering Medicine section and a Mastering Your Life section. The Mastering Your Medicine section was intended to take the EMT and paramedic education further and build a solid foundation of medicine. This section is modeled after the MCAT, which is the Medical College Admission Test. This is a test I'm currently studying for to become a physician in the future, and it's designed to touch on a little bit of each topic that you'll need to know as a doctor. One of the things that I am just adamant about getting rid of is the protocol junkie. For those of you who don't know what the protocol junkie is, it's the EMT or paramedic who can't think past the written protocols that they were given. Even though we're supposed to follow those protocols and they're designed to keep us on track, not very many people can think past that. We have people giving 15 liters of oxygen to abdominal pain patients simply because the protocol tells them to, rather than thinking about medicine and thinking about what could be going on with the patient and treating them accordingly. A lot of people have reverted to just reading a paper and following the steps on the paper. And I think that's a horrible way to practice medicine. And regardless of what you think, EMTs and paramedics are healthcare providers, and they practice medicine. They practice emergency medicine. So the Medicine Mastery section is designed to create the foundation that for so long wasn't required. And even though we can't give you a degree or a piece of paper that's saying that, you passed the test, if you care about your craft as a healthcare provider, you should care enough about this topic, and this section specifically. So if you look at the 4 topics that we have listed here, we have anatomy and physiology, This is how the body works and how it's made up. We have biology. Biology is how anatomy and physiology comes together to create everything around us. We have chemistry, which is the chemical reasons that all these things happen. And we have psychology, which is a weird little niche of its own that even though biology, chemistry, anatomy, and physiology say one thing, the mind might say another. And all four of these are key to any healthcare provider's profession. These four parts are updated every single day. In fact, they're updated every single time I myself study for the MCAT. And I'm studying right now about 2 to 3 hours a day. Every time I learn something new, every time I want to dial in a topic and really get to understand it, I'm going to be putting them in these sections for everybody else. So now we're going to scroll up and we're going to click Mastering Your Life. Now the title of this section might sound a little cheesy, but bear with me, okay? So EMS has a culture right now that's very toxic, in my opinion. Not everywhere, but in a good majority of places, the EMS culture is very toxic. A lot of people don't want to do anything outside than what they're mandated to. A lot of people are struggling with mental health, physical health, and even financial health. And I've learned over the last few years, after spending tens of thousands of dollars, that all of this stuff is readily available to everybody who wants it. The problem is a lot of people now are putting extremely high markups on this information, and it really causes people to have a negative taste in their mouth about self-learning, self-development, and things along those lines. And I wanted to get rid of that altogether. So this section is split into 6 parts. All have their own little way of doing things, but it's really designed to really hit on the big picture. So we start with healthcare provider success. This is a program that I've used myself, and it's actually modeled after hands down the best self-development programs I've ever taken. Except I've taken that program and I've tailored it for the healthcare industry. It helps apply this knowledge and apply these teachings to something that you can actually use in real life. Creating the Superprovider. This is kind of the plan, this is the idea, this is how we're going to achieve all of this stuff that I'm saying we're going to achieve. It lays it out word for word for you, so not only are you not blindsided by certain things, you can actually be proactive and start taking those steps yourselves, create a push in this movement. But if we do that, we're going to have resiliency. We would never build a house on a shaky foundation. So in order to build this house per se that we're trying to build within ourselves, we're going to have to build some resiliency within it. And that's what Enduring the Storm is about, is building resilience in ourselves personally, professionally, financially, and even medically. And then we have the Medic Money Bootcamp. This is a program that gets about half and half support, and then the other half they think that I'm crazy for even thinking this stuff. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. This isn't you can make $1 million by next weekend if you do these 3 things. This is financial education, what they should have taught you in high school. Everybody's complaining about what they didn't get taught in high school. Well, here it is. It teaches you how to build assets in the modern world. It teaches you how to use the internet. It teaches you how to build business on the internet, how to build business in general, and really how money works and flows through all this stuff. Even if you don't want to be a businessman, even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur or an investor or anything along those lines, the stuff within this Medic Money Bootcamp is applicable to everybody. And it's going to make it to where if you can get that raise, if you do get that raise that everybody seems to be asking for, it's going to actually be worth it instead of being thrown in the trash like it does for most people. And it's literally the financial education everybody wishes they got in high school. And then the last 2 sections we have EMT and Paramedic Mastery. Now I split these up because I really wanted to talk to the EMTs separately and the medics separately. And there's a reason for this. These 2 EMT and Paramedic Mastery sections, they take the already working, already employed, have been employed EMT and Paramedic, and it takes what they do on a day-to-day basis and it takes it that much higher. We're going to get doctors, nurses, people who are experts in their specialty to come on with us, and we're going to this fixes the problem of all of our textbooks being behind. This is going to be based off of current study, what's working in ER rooms right now. Even though you might not be able to apply it because medical direction and things along those lines, it's still good to know how the industry is moving, how it's progressing, and what we might be doing in the future. The only difference is now you're not going to have to wait years for it to come out. We're going to give it to you right now. So to my knowledge, nobody has ever put medical education along with personal development, financial education, and social media, and everything else that we're putting into this course until now. I already know that we're going to have a lot of skeptics for this course. A lot of people are going to feel, why do I need to know all this stuff? I don't want to know all this stuff. And maybe you don't, but there's a lot of people who do. And for the ones who do, I want to put it all here for you in one spot so you don't have to search the internet for it. This is everything that I use myself. It's everything that Gold Standard EMS was built on. I'm putting it all on the table. This is everything that was put together to make Gold Standard EMS happen. And you can take it and do whatever you want with it. Use it to get promotions in your company. Use it to start your own company. Use it to already improve the company you're already running. Use it just to pad your pockets. Whatever it is you want to use it for, you're going to be able to do it. It's what I've used. So that's all I have for you today on this walkthrough on the Creating the Superprovider program. I hope it's piqued your interest in the program itself or supporting our Kickstarter campaign. We're creating educational opportunities for EMTs and medics all over the world, not just in the United States. I actually spoke to an EMT the other day who's from Ukraine. We're really making this a global culture. If you haven't already, make sure you're following us on all the social media platforms. We're doing a ton of stuff on Instagram. We're starting to get into Facebook, and YouTube's going to start blowing up just shortly. So make sure you're following us. Give us a like, give us a follow, and I'll see you on the next video.